Welcome to the 2022 PGA Championship. Who do you got winning? If you want to find out who we're on at DFS Army, listen up and keep watching. What up, everybody? It's your boy, DFS Up North, aka Josh Thomas, here with another Four Thoughts PGA podcast for DFS Army. And this week we are talking about the PGA Championship, Southern Hills, Tulsa, Oklahoma, 2022. We're at our second major of the year. It is crazy that this is the halfway point. We are literally like 2 months away from no majors. Summer's just getting started, it feels like, but we're almost halfway through the golf season right now, and that's crazy to think about. And we've been crushing it over at DFS Army. Really proud of all of our members and how well they've been doing, and having such a great year. So if you want to join us, you want to be a part of it, you want to get access to all the tools that we have, our cheat sheets, which I'll talk about here, use that code Up North, 10% off VIP membership to DFS Army. That not only gets you access to me, that not only gets you access to the PGA tools and cheat sheets, that gets you access to everything. We got MLB, basketball playoffs. Guys are crushing it right now. NHL playoffs. Our NHL team was number one on daily overlay. They've been smashing it all season long, and it's continuing even in the playoffs. Even though my boys, the Wild, went down, I'm still excited. The playoffs have been great. So those guys are crushing it. So if you want to become a part of this, join us. DFS Army. DFS Up North gets you that 10% off code. And then go check out the site. There's a bunch of ways to get a free month. You can sign up for other sites, get deposit bonuses, things like that. So if you're not a member, check it out, dfsarmy.com, and get involved with us. So like I said, it is time. The PGA Championship, the Wanamaker Trophy. We are in Tulsa, Oklahoma at Southern Hills, which is just a fantastic course. You might remember from 2007 when Tiger Woods almost choked it to Woody Austin. Don't remember him? Maybe you remember his shirt. He was wearing something that he picked up at Goodwill that day, it looked like. But almost choked it to Woody Austin that day, but got it done. The course has been pretty heavily revamped. We'll talk about it. The big story this week, obviously, is that Phil Mickelson is not playing. I don't know what's going on. I wish we knew. I think Phil is good for the game. I think he stuck his foot in his mouth. I think that there's obviously going to be repercussions. Some people call that cancel culture. I don't know. It's just there's consequences to your actions, right? I'm disappointed that Phil's not playing this week, especially with LIV Golf coming up and the possibility that Phil maybe is banned, right, from the PGA Tour. I think that it's possible that he's currently suspended and that's why he's not playing. But this being not necessarily a PGA Tour event, I thought we'd maybe see him this week. Disappointing to say the least, but here we go. We've got some guys crushing it a couple weeks ago. Cam Young, you're gonna hear more about him this week. I really like him. So Southern Hills, what's Southern Hills like? All right, as you can see in the background, you look at these greens. They're almost every single green. I think all 18. There might be one that's not, but every green is elevated, and you can see over here these shaved edges. What does that mean, right? So what that means is that these greens are going to be elevated, which are elevated greens are already a little bit harder to hold anyways, because the ball's coming down on top, right? And it's still going to carry some momentum. So if you're not dead on with your iron play, especially with these shaved off edges and these little collection areas down in this area, right? Or down over here where the ball is going to funnel down, you're going to be dealing with chips back up into these greens, hard to handle, hard to get tight to the pin, and then looking at it, a feasible 2, maybe even 3 putts. So you're going to see some big numbers if your irons are not on this week. And these greens are not very big, 5,000 square feet, right? It's a par 70, 7,556 is the listed yardage. It's not going to play anywhere near that long. I'm guessing we're going to see 7,300, but somewhere in that range. Okay. 87 sand bunkers. Sand bunkers were all redone. So if you've been on, like me, watching Golf Channel all the time, and you see that they've been playing the Tiger Woods 2007 win, like I said, where he almost choked to no name or Woody Austin, you see these bunkers. They're not very intimidating. What they did was they rebuilt all these bunkers to add these lips back in. You watch in 2007, there's almost no lip on any single bunker. So the bunker is going to be much more penal this week. Bent grass on the greens, but then we're looking at Bermuda grass everywhere else on the course. The thing about Bermuda grass is that it can really twist your club up. You need to hit the fairway here. All right. Especially because, you have so much more control over the ball when you get into the fairway. And if you're, already hitting into smallish greens at only 5,000 square feet, that's not like super small, but it's fairly small. And you don't have that control coming out of the Bermuda rough. Again, you're in trouble. You're going to have that short game on freaking point this week. All right. So you got to hit, it's like this everywhere, but even more so this week, right? You got to hit fairways, got to hit greens, and you got to putt well, right? If you want to be in contention. If you do any one thing well, you might make the cut, right? But if you do any of those like the three main things this week, I'm not as worried about driving accuracy. Hitting the fairway is important, but these fairways are fairly wide. They took out a bunch of trees. I really think that the things that you need to focus on this week are strokes gained approach. All right. You got to be tight. You got to be good with your irons. And then like scrambling, around the green play, things like that, right? If you want to look at something like 3-putt avoidance or just bogey avoidance in general, guys who typically avoid bogeys are good at 2-putting. They're good at, scrambling around the greens. It's going to be huge. It's going to be huge this week. This is a Gil Hanse remodel. He does these things where it makes it kind of look like it's, it's similar to like a Pete Dye in the sense that you make it look like it's going to, you don't have a lot of room. And then all of a sudden you get up there and you're like, oh crap. And Rory talked about that today. So it's a really interesting course. We saw 2007, the winning score here was -8, right? I think we're going to see something similar this week. I've been wrong before about this, right? I have a tough time dealing with winning scores. I think that in perfect conditions, I think we're going to see a -10, right? But here's the deal. We're not going to have perfect conditions this week. There's going to be a lot of wind. I think that we're going to see a cut line over par. We're going to see like a US Open style cut line. And then the winning score somewhere, depending on how it plays Saturday and Sunday, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in there. I think we could feasibly only have like 10 to 15 guys under par for the week, which is really, really, really intriguing for me. You might see guys make the cut and go minus points on the weekend, which is very rarely happens. I think that's how tough this course can play. I think it can reward you. I think that all the players are raving about it, how much they like it. They love the course. It's pristine, whatever. That wind is going to be nasty. We're going to see solid, we're in Oklahoma here. We're in Texas, we're in Oklahoma, we're in Tulsa, but we're going to see those Texas winds, right? There's steady 20, gust to 45. And we already have hard to hit greens. And you add in that wind. Whoo, baby. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited. Like, I am excited to watch this. 600 plus, both par fives. Both par fives are likely to play over 600 yards. What that means is that they're going to be 3-shotters, right? I mean, you could pound it, hit it 250, but you're also dealing with the bunkers, the water on those holes, and that is going to be that's going to be tricky, right? So we're going to see those 3-shot par fives. What that tells me is that this course, especially if you look at kind of the way it played in 2007, you don't have to hit it a long ways here. Obviously, distance is always an advantage, but you're going to see guys, 3 shots into a par 5. You're going to see guys having to lay up on par 4s because they're trying to avoid the trouble, trying to find the fairway. Yeah, I can get 20 to 30 extra yards, but maybe I'm not in the fairway. Maybe I'm better off to hit it 190 from the fairway as opposed to 160 from the rough. So you're going to see guys like, you don't have to be long, but you got to be really, really patient, right? Those guys that are just kind of able to plod along, they're going to make pars. They're just going to take what the course gives them. Those are the guys that you really want to focus on this week. The boom bust guys that, maybe they can, this isn't going to be a birdie fest. This isn't a KFT event, right? So you got to get guys that are I hate to say it, but kind of plotters, right? Or just elite talents like Scotty Scheffler, right? He can force it a little. He can force the issue a little bit. He can fire at pins, but he's so good the rest of his game that he can do that. I wrote on here 3 putts are going to be regular. All right, it's going to happen. We're going to see 4 putts. All right. The way these greens are structured, so they're very, very similar to what we see at Augusta. And the reason being is that Maxwell, who's the original design here and who Gil Hanse tried to kind of bring this course back to, he was the guy who did the greens at Augusta. So the undulating, very, kind of tricky greens, that's his forte. All right. And there can be some pin positions here that are very, very, very dangerous, being that if you go a foot past the hole, it's going 12 feet, right? That 3-footer coming back is not a guarantee. So it's gonna be tricky. I'm excited about it, right? Like I said, wide fairways and the small undulating greens with shaved off areas. I'm not as worried about guys that are like, when you look at like a statistical model, right? And you're talking about like, okay, I need to find guys who are good driving accuracy. Like, I don't give a shit. Like that doesn't matter, right? Guys are going to find fairways here. All right. And if you do, what we've seen statistically is that guys who find the fairway just hit like 75% of the greens, which is really, really high. Guys who miss the fairway, what I believe this was here at the PGA, were like 33, where the senior PGA was here last year, it's like 33% of greens in regulation when they missed the fairway. So you got to find fairways, and guys are going to do that, right? They might not hit driver as much. Tiger, I think, hit like 2 drivers on his final 18 here in 2007. So it's an interesting course. We can maybe draw some looking at former winners. Like, obviously we get the PGA Championship. It's a different courses every single year. The Masters is obviously the only one that we get to play regularly, right? And the open rotation, we get guys, a guy like Phil who's played 25 opens, he's played a course 4 or 5 times, right? But what we can, kind of see here is that what do you got to do well each week in a PGA Championship, regardless of the course. So Phil, -6, led the field in strokes gained tee to green. Morikawa, interestingly, did not. Wasn't even close, actually. His iron play wasn't good. Morikawa just ran a hot putter at Harding Park all week and won by 2. And that chip in late in the game was obviously huge. Koepka led the field in strokes gained tee to green. And then Koepka held off Tiger at Belrive. And was solid, tee to green. He was top 3 in almost every single major category that week. But again, -6, -13, -8, -16. These aren't birdie fests. And this right here is why we aren't going to see a birdie fest again. All right. So look at this. Okay. So when they guys tee off on Thursday morning, right now, it looks like 10-mile-an-hour steady, 26-mile-an-hour gust, pushing to 16, 17, 20 all day. Gusts heavy, hard here. All right. Friday, steady all day, pretty much. Heavier gusts in the morning. So right now it does look like there's a slight tee time advantage. All right. This is going to change. All right. This is going to change significantly. This is Monday night. I'm recording this. By the time we get to Tuesday, it's going to change. By the time we get to Wednesday, it's going to change. By the time these guys tee off on Thursday, it's going to change. What I'm guessing is that we will likely see a slight tee time advantage. Now, tee time advantage can sometimes be misconstrued because of the talent of players in each wave. All right. So it might look like, oh my gosh, there was a stroke advantage on this, but then the guy from the worst advantage wins. Well, because maybe it's each wave is typically not going to be the same strength wise. Right. So we can see that a stroke advantage doesn't get me super excited normally. If we're looking at 2-3 strokes advantage, then yeah, right? Like that's going to be a huge issue. Typically, we see that more when there's rain in the forecast, not necessarily wind. I think the wind's going to be nasty. And I think that the guys that are going off in the afternoon and in the morning are going to be at a slight disadvantage, but don't get off a play this week because he's in the wrong wave, right? And I also don't think this is why I struggle with wave builds. You eliminate good players, right? I would be blown, even if let's say there's like a 2 to 3 stroke advantage for AM PM. Hypothetically 2 to 3 stroke advantage, I would still be blown away if all 6 golfers were all 6 golfers in the Millie Maker winning lineup were from one wave. I'd be blown away because statistically it's just not going to happen, right? It's possible, but I think we put too much of our emphasis on the likelihood of that happening, and it's really like an astronomical type of thing. Even in a huge advantage like that, it's astronomical. So don't get so hyped up about playing a wave advantage. Sure, I would in my projections, right? In the DS, the domination station, which is the optimizers that we have at DFS Army, I would likely give a bump to guys that are out in the AM wave, right? So let's say that Rory's one of the first tee times out on Thursday. That means that he's going to be one of the the first tee times out on Friday or in the afternoon on Friday. Likely plays in the best conditions. So I'd give Rory 2, 3, 4, 5 points bump, right? And I'm gonna run the optimizer and just see what happens. I'm not gonna eliminate guys just because they're in the PM. I might eliminate a guy that's low end, right? I love Tom Kim this week. I think that he's a great play. Played really well out last week. Ju Hung Kim, if you're not familiar. But if he's out in the afternoon at 6,300, he might not make my lineup. He might not make my pool, right? So you can make decisions like that. But this whole I only play him. Stop it. You're unnecessarily constraining your lineups. All right. Okay. So typically at this point we would go and we just show my cheat sheet. My cheat sheet. But it's major championship week. I'm not showing you guys all the goods. You want everything? You got to come subscribe. DFS Army. Use the code UPNORTH. I'm going to show you guys my 4 favorite core plays. I have another guy in my core this week that I think is a GPP like unreal play this week at super low ownership. But again, I can't give that stuff away for free, baby. You gotta come check out the cheat sheets. So my kind of strategy this week is that I am, like I said, plotters, guys with good short games, guys who are gonna hit it well with their irons. That's my goal, right? Not super sexy. Not gonna, they're not gonna fire you up. They're kind of in that mid tier. The reason I do this is like these 4 guys here, I can kind of mix and match. I can play them all 4 together. I can play 2, 3. I can mix and match my core. And because I think they're really safe plays with upside. All right. And then I can take chances. I can play a Jordan Spieth. I can play a John Ram, who is weirdly like not a great, I don't think a great play this week. I can play a guy like Sam Burns, who hasn't been playing well, but is an elite talent, right? Let's take some chances on guys. I can play Brooks Koepka, who really hasn't been doing much, right? Because the rest of my lineup looks really good. And I think our 6-6 percentage is going to be super low this week. The PGA Championship is one of the easiest events on tour, just because of all the PGA players, all the international players. But I think that 6-6 is going to be really, really low this week because of the wind. So I think a good 5-6 can cash well in a small entry field, right? Millie Maker, you obviously got to get lucky. You got to get 6. But, so I like a guy like Hideki Matsuyama. Playing well, unreal short game. He's not going to make a ton of mistakes. Guys are going to talk this week about, like, you're going to hear stuff in the community, in the DFS community on Twitter and other podcasts, things like apex ball height and you can't play Hideki Matsuyama because he hits the ball too high. That's such bullshit. Like, that's such crap, right? Like, you don't think Masters champion Hideki Matsuyama, who's got one of the most robotic swings ever, can hit the ball low? Like, you don't think he can do that? It's insane to me that people like are literally going to constrain their player pool, make it smaller, and be like, shh, I can't play Hideki because, I mean, come on, he hits the ball too high. That's such trash, right? That's such trash. And in the same sense, people are going to play Shane Lowry, who I love this week, because he's just a good player. Great short game, good putter, good on bent grass. They're going to play him this week because, he's from Ireland. He's great in the wind. That has, like, he's a decent wind player, sure, like, that's fine. But, like, anybody can be good in the wind. Brandt Snedeker is good in the wind, right? Like, this apex ball, like, Dustin Johnson can't win because he hits the ball too high. That's garbage. Such garbage. Love Shane Lowry this week. I think he's the best points per dollar play on the slate, like, bar none, not even close. He's gonna be chalky. I don't care. Like, I'll get 40%. I'll have 50%. It doesn't matter. He's a great play. Play him. Don't, like, the ownership, whatever. Get leverage. Find a way. Matthew Fitzpatrick, love as well. Cash lock for me, 7,900. Again, guy who's just been knocking on the door. Not necessarily in majors. I will say that. Not necessarily in majors. But he's just he's so good on these courses that are tough. He's good on these courses that people think he's too short for. I don't think the distance is going to matter this week. But I love Fitzy. And then Alex Norton. Love me some Norton this week. Guy's been playing good. If you're a DFS Army subscriber, you're probably sick of him being in the core, but he pays off value every single week. Like, I think he's my core play like 4 of the last 5 times he's teed it up. $7,000, like, insane in my brain. All right, we're gonna do something fun here. If you guys haven't heard, Underdog Fantasy has just started a best ball tournament. So what that means is, if you're not familiar with Underdog Fantasy, if you don't play NFL best ball, which you should, it's so much fun. But basically, they're starting a best ball tournament for golf for the last 3 majors of the year. So what that means is that you go into a draft and you draft with 6 other people. You need to pick 10 players. All right. Of those 6 people, like, whoever you only count 6 scores, 6 of your 10 scores. Person with the highest score, just like in DraftKings, at the end of the week, the first major moves on to the next round. All right. Then you go into a 12-person group. Okay. And the winner of that group at the US Open moves on to the final round, which is at the Open Championship. And that's when you're playing against like 30 other people for big money, $10,000 up top. Super fun. It's an exciting way to play. Set it and forget it. Draft your team. You don't worry about it. All right. So we're going to do a live draft right now. This isn't live. We're not on YouTube live right now, but on Underdog, it'll be live. All right. So let me get this up here. And I'm going to show you guys kind of how this works. If you are not a member of Underdog Fantasy, UnderdogFantasy.com, this is the Albatross best ball. You can use code DFS up north. And I believe that gets you like a deposit match of up to $100, which is awesome. So use that code DFS up north. So if we look here, basic tournament info, blah, 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 you can see 10K up top. Let's just enter. You'll be entered. $10 will be deducted from your balance. Awesome. Okay. Allow notifications. Allow. Okay. So here's the problem. We're waiting on people, which is annoying, but we can kind of look at some of this other stuff. So I'm waiting on 6 different people here. So I hope this works and we get people. Earlier it went pretty quickly. Did a random one earlier. So we're waiting on our people, but basically, like I said, you are just drafting golfers, trying to build the best lineup that you can. So if we look at my results here, oops, I think I got a live one. Should be PGA. Nope, it's not live yet. My drafts completed. Yeah, so I just did one here, and you can kind of see what it looks like. You can see my team. So I had the 3rd overall pick. I took Colin Morikawa, and I followed that up with Patrick Cantlay, Shane Lowry. I reached on Taylor Gooch. You can kind of see the ADP here. 22-36. And then I snagged Abe Answer. Cam Young, who I really, really like this week, kind of got him right on the turn there. I reached a little on Seamus Power, Alex Noren, Bazootenhout, and then Bobby Mack. Really, I built this lineup to, U.S. Open is tough, but I want to have a good chance if we get to the end, right, where I'm trying to win, the big money, right? So if we look here, you can see 10,000 first, 3,000 to third, 5,000 to second, all the way down to you just advance on. You're looking at $15 back out of your 10. Pretty good deal. Scoring wise, pars are 1.1, birdies are 4 points, hole in one and eagles are the same. Bogeys, you're losing points for. Albatross worth double. That's interesting. I mean, we never get an albatross. You get a bogey free round, you get consecutive birdie points, consecutive bogey points to take away. Any score above par is -1, which I really, really like. It's a super fun way to play golf, and I'm hoping that we can get this thing going here. Oh, yeah, here we go. We got 4 or 6 filled. All right, we got 2 left. 2 left. Come on, baby. Let's go. And I want to get a good draft spot. I'd like the 1-1. I want the 1 or the 6. I had 3 last time, was 0 fun for me. I was not a big fan. Let me do this here. 2 to go. Underdog Fantasy. Use that code DFS up north. Gets you deposit match. And actually, I think if you go through the DFS Army website, you might be able to deposit on Underdog and get a free month of DFS Army if you haven't done that yet. I don't think you can use the code DFS up north. I think the code is like DFS Army. But yeah, so like my strategy here is I would like to get the 6. I would like to get the 6, and the reason being is that then I can turn it around, right? You get the 6, you get 6 and 7. You get 1, you get 1 and 11, right? That's not what I'm interested in. Oh, we got 1 spot left. Here we go. So if I get like the 6, I can take a guy like, I don't know. People reach for people here. I might take I can go Cam Smith, Jordan Spieth. Oh, how good are you feeling on Cam Smith, Jordan Spieth? That's so fun. So fun. All right, come on. One person. And we can talk through the draft as we go. Hopefully we don't get any auto drafters here. 1, 2, go. 1, 2, go. So I want to go through, one thing I wanted to go through is star some of these guys that I think I want to target, depending. I mean, obviously things depend kind of on where you are, but I really like Hideki. I really like Lowry and Fitz. And again, you got to kind of build for, all right, I am playing on, I got to get through the PGA Championship. You can't think too far in advance, right? So who's a really, really good play this week? Well, those are my core plays, right? And then you got guys like Sung Jae Im, not in the tournament in the PGA. So if you're going to draft Sung Jae Im, you better hope that you get away. You get through the next round and he can play at You can play at the US Open, you can play at the Open Championship. Like, the guy hasn't been playing that great anyways. Bryson, he's going to Tulsa, he says. He doesn't know that he's going to play. Then you got to be careful about guys like Adam Scott, right? Guys who are not committed, but we're assuming are going to the LIV Saudi Arabian Tour. They might not be allowed to play in the Open Championship. They might not be allowed to play in the US Open. You don't have to worry too much about guys like not getting in to these events, because we're only drafting 60 golfers here. Usually the 60 golfers that you draft are going to be in all 3 events. If this was like a 10-man draft, you might have to worry about that a little bit more. But you also don't have to worry about redrafting, right? You go to the second round, it's the golfers you have. All right, that's how best ball works. You draft once, you set it and forget it, and hopefully you make it through all the way to the Open Championship. Come on, one person. Is there an invite button I can go on Twitter and invite people to this? Give me one. Come on, people. Harris English out. You don't want to play him. Guys that are way down the list that maybe you want to, target. Guys like Alex Norton, I think, is interesting. I like Bez. I like Bobby Mack. You can set it and forget it here too, but that's not any fun. The whole point of this is drafting, right? Adam Hadwin, I think, is intriguing. I don't know that he's in the Open Championship yet. Scott Vincent's somehow getting drafted by people, which makes no sense. Ben On is getting drafted by people. They have some sort of ADP, which makes like no sense. Justin Harding's interesting. Not somebody I'm really targeting here. Some of these guys aren't even in half the events. JJ Spawn been playing really well. One more person. This is the hard part about doing this live. Could cut this and come back, but come on. If we look, let's see if I can see the other teams in this draft. Can I see the other teams in this group? Let's see. This guy he had the 1, right? So he went Scheffler. Oh, my draft starting in 60 seconds. Here we go. Scheffler, Schauffele, Koepka. I like that, but then he took some chances on a Bryson, Charlie Hoffman, who's not even in the field, which is interesting. Again, this thing is kind of soft. All right, active draft starts shortly. What did I get? Tell me I got the fucking 4. The 4? That's no fun. Nobody wants to be the 4. All right, so who am I looking at here? I got Morikawa last time with the 4. Golly. I mean, so here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping somebody at the front doesn't. I'm hoping they don't go Scheffler, Ram, Morikawa. That's my goal, because JT sucks at majors. All right, so we got Kevin drafting first here. Hopefully he is live, although that badge makes me think he might not be. Come on, Kevin, make a choice. He's going to take Scotty Scheffler. If it auto drafts, it's for sure going to go Scotty Scheffler, unless he randomly did his list different. Scotty Scheffler. Why did we skip? That's weird. Why did this guy get skipped? Oh, he didn't. Okay, here we go. What's going on here? This is weird. It says I'm on the clock, but I'm apparently not. Reloading. Oh, no. Okay. Whew. It let me take Morikawa. Okay, that was weird. My internet was... I got a little panicky there. My internet was funky. It wasn't working. It was saying that I didn't have it. So I'm at Morikawa. All right, it looks like we're in good shape now here. Okay, so guy behind me went Rory. This guy's going to get the turn, right? This is what you want. This is where you go like Cam's. You can go Patrick Cantlay, Jordan Spieth here. Don't play Hovland. Don't play Hovland this week. Yep, Cantlay, great pick. Scoot. Again, I love a good draft. Like, this is what's so... Yeah, Cantlay, Spieth. That's what you want. That's what you want in the turn. Come on, people. All right, oh, crap, I got to get ready. I'm picking here. So I'm hoping that Cam Smith gets to me here. That's the goal. This guy maybe takes Hadwin. I get Cam Smith. Like, what is going on here? Is it my internet? Is it... Still says this guy's sitting here on it. Okay, took Decky. Oh, crap. All right, there we go. It's It's like adjusting. And all right, we got Cam Smith. We got who we wanted anyways. This is hard to do live, man, where I'm like, my internet's not going. So right now we've got Cam Smith and Colin Morikawa. Feel pretty good about that. Feel pretty strong. I'm 5 picks away. So now we're looking, okay, who's going to take DJ? Ooh, Brooks Koepka at 11 is, I mean, I get Brooks in a major, but that's the way he's been playing this year. That seems aggressive. But again, great. Please do. Please take Brooks. That only benefits me. Dustin Johnson, Xander Schauffele. Yeah, Schauffele waited too long. I probably should have taken him. He looked pretty good last week. As we're catching up, I will say this. I runs way better. Because all of a sudden this is going to just jump up and I'm going to have to pick. But I'm going to take Shane Lowry at 16. Oh, I could get... If Willie Z is sitting there, I might be interested. Well, how do I only have like 9 seconds? Well, I'm drafting Lowry anyways. Doesn't matter. Oh, is this like a 10-second pick thing? Oh, he went Fitzy after me before Will Z? Get Will Z back to me. Oh, crap. Didn't go. I didn't realize I was in a 10-second drafter. Let's go. That actually works out better. Usually it's 30 seconds. Oh. All right, Connors. It's risky, but you got to take Louis. It's risky, right? It's risky to take Louis because, again, what has he been linked to? The LIV. The LIV. So right now, what's my lineup look like here? Who do I got? Can I see? I got my queue here. Weird, I can't see it like live. Oh, that's better. Yeah, there we go. Now I can see. Got Morikawa, Smith, Lowry, Usyk, and guy just took Finau. I'm 5 picks away. Hatton would be on my radar here. Oh man, what is this guy doing? Like anytime studs. What do you got on your lineup here, buddy? And watch, this will beat me. This will beat me. And I'll look like an idiot. We got Rahm, Brooks, Daniel Berger, and I mean, I don't hate it, I guess. It's not great. Are they gonna leave Hatton to me? You guys gonna leave me Terrell Hatton? I might pick the LIV lineup. I might just play Adam Scott too. P. Reed. Oh, all right. I'm forced to go Taylor Gooch here. Oklahoma boy. I'm just trying to get through. Keegan Bradley? That seems aggressive. I mean, I feel like I got aggressive on Taylor Gooch, but we're going to play Keegan Bradley here? Scooter, what are you going to do on the turn here? Cam Young, damn it. Gosh, this guy's got a good lineup. What's his lineup look like here? Oh, I'm up next. I better be ready. Oh, you know I'm going Fleetwood here. You know I'm going Tommy Boy. Maybe I might go Leishman. What do I got? Oh, he went Hunley. Okay. Oh, why are we sleeping on Abe Answer? I'm going to take Abe Answer on all these things. If he's just going to fall to me like that, all day. All right, we got 4 picks left. And then we'll wrap this thing up here. Again, love Underdog Fantasy. So much fun. You got a chance. It's best ball, and this takes you through the next 2 tournaments. That's a ton of fun. Webb Simpson. Oh goodness, some of these lineups, people. I gotta be on this because I might come out of this thing and get to the next round. Let's go, Kevin. Who do you got? Golfer number 5. Update. Jason Day. Okay. All right. I mean, Jason Day's been playing better golf. I'll give him that. I don't think this is he's a short game wizard. He could do good here. It's price on DraftKings this week. I haven't finished my notes yet. What's the turn look like? Kev. I've got 6 guys in my lineup. I might focus on just Is Norton close to going here? No, but I get Tommy Fleetwood. Paul Casey's hurt too. Don't draft him. All right, I'm super curious about what this guy does. His lineups have been fairly terrible. What do you got, buddy? What do you got? 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 Oh, that son of a... and I just talked about how he's been playing poorly, drafting poorly, and he snags, and now I got scooped again? I'm not even forcing this. Like, I think that he's the best player on the board right now. Yeah, I'll take Norton all day. Tiger's sitting here in a second, though. I am on my turnaround. I'm taking Tiger. We got St. Andrews. I mean, the risk is obviously that he hurts himself. Somebody's going to take Tiger here before he gets to me. There's three picks. Come on. Somebody's snagging him. So right now, I'm looking at Morikawa, Cam Smith, Shane Lowry. Love that start. Louis, don't love, but it was kind of just sitting there. Taylor Gooch, Abe Answer, and Alex. I feel pretty good about that. All right, if Tiger's sitting here, I'm taking him. Come on, Scooter, don't take him. Don't snag him. My projection is going to suck because he's only projected for 58 points here. But again, who cares about Yahoo Fantasy grades? Oh, Aaron Wise, what are you doing, buddy? I mean, I love Wise. I don't even know if he's in the Open Championship field. I'll take Tiger. Don't feel bad about that. I get to cheer for Tiger, baby. Let's go. And I got him right at ADP. Right at ADP. All right, so now what do we got left? I love Bez. I think that he's intriguing. I mean, you get down to the end here, you can take a chance on some of these guys. Oh, that son of a gun. He took Robert McIntyre on the turn. This guy on the turn has got a great lineup here on. He's my biggest competition right now. Kuchar. Yeah, like he's got a really good lineup. Somebody jumped way up and took what's his face last time? Harold Varner. All right, we're gonna take Bazoon Hope. I just want my guys. I want my guys. All right, my last pick. I'm going way off the board here. I'm gonna go way off the board here and play somebody crazy. I don't even think he's in the U.S. Open. He's not even in there. I can't even play Pablo Larrazabal. That's annoying. Blandy, Minwoo Lee, Phil. Can play Phil. Davis Riley's not in everything. Cage Lee should be now since he won. I just wanted to play Pablo Larrazabal. Is Ju Young Kim? Oh, we could play Tom Kim. I think he's in everything. I think he's in. He might not be in the U.S. Open, which would suck. But gosh, he's been playing good. So who am I taking him over? Like who am I? I'm gonna play Peters. That's the safe play. He rates out well. I'll take Peters. All right, so my final team here is Morikawa, Smith, Lowry, Ustays, and Gooch, Answer, Noren, Tiger Woods, Christian, Bazoot Hound, and Thomas Peters. I think I got the best team here. I don't think it's even close. I think I am advancing. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll let you know what ends up happening with that team. But again, Underdog Fantasy, super fun site to play on. I love it. Like you can just do that on your phone all night. Like easy, super fun. And then you get to follow along and see how your team does, and hopefully they can advance. And somebody that watches this wins 10K. Hopefully it's me. So again, guys, DFS Army, use that code up north. You get 10% off. Underdog Fantasy, use the code DFS up north. That gets you a deposit match, and it's a ton of fun. If you want access to all of our tools, you gotta be a member, right? Went through, talked about my core plays, obviously I'll give you guys that for free, but you want all the goods, you got to get in the cheat sheet. You got to be a DFS Army VIP, and then you get access to NBA, you get access to NHL, MLB, everything. Don't waste your time. Don't do anything else. All right, guys. Cheers. Have a great day. We'll have a great PGA Championship, Southern Hills. I'm super excited. I hope my course analysis is spot on, and we get 10 guys under par this week with a -5 winner. Thanks, guys. Cheers.